Hello, and welcome to Wrestling with Entertainment. I am your host, James J, alongside Kaliko Yachts,
What is up, everybody?
and it is not a great day for wrestling. It is not a great day for Wrestling with Entertainment, as earlier this week, Scott Barron, better known as Scooterdust, has unfortunately passed away. Um, it definitely sucks. Definitely did not expect it, but it definitely um, it definitely sucks considering I did the show with him last week. Um, just kind and now I'm here 1 week later, um, giving a tribute to our co-host, our friend, um, and kind of let people know what an incredible individual he was. Um, Scooter was an independent wrestler in the early 2010s, trained by Mikey Whipwreck, and worked a lot alongside noticeable names like Alex Reynolds and John Silver, who's in the AEW right now, the Dark Order. Um, he's also known as Tony Nese's evil twin, if you've ever seen Scooter and Tony side by side. And notable appearances included being hugged by Tracy Brooks and having to tell Mercedes Martinez that she had to cut her match short. If you've listened to the show before, you've heard Scooter tell that story 100 times. Um, Unfortunately, his in-ring career came to an abrupt end after a back injury. But Scooter being Scooter, it was the it was doing the next thing that came along. He was able to interview the people that just got voted off Big Brother. Notable name being Sid Vicious's son. And he started in 2016 the remix. The only live alternative commentary for WWE events. Um, Back then it was innovative. Still to this day, I don't think there is any other live alternative commentary. He was the only one. So innovative as well. Um, he garnered a lot of attention and support, a lot of listeners, most notably getting attention and a shout out from hardcore legend Mick Foley. Um, for those who don't know, Scooter actually shared a birthday with the genius himself, Lenny Pavo, and they actually exchanged birthday text messages every year on their birthday um, until Lenny's unfortunate passing. Uh, that brings us to us, Wrestling Wit. I was um, I was introduced to Scooter by former co-host Mitch Mayhem. Things were maybe a bit rocky at start. We didn't necessarily know each other quite well, but he was able to be a guest host on the show. We did a couple of guest spots on the remix. Um, and then in 2020, we kind of got a better understanding, kind of went back and forward over text messages. I invited him to be a guest on the show once again, and the rest was kind of history. Um, I invited him back, and he never left. He asked me to be a part of the show permanently, which I obviously agreed to. Funny enough, and I don't think he actually knew this. When I originally texted him to come on the show, it was to be a prominent part of the show. So him just saying, asking to be on, just made my life a lot easier. uh, so yeah, he's been a full-fledged member since, and um, he was a part of our first ever interview with Whiskey John, a part of a lot of our All Europe interviews, and
Oh yes, Becca.
yes, um, and just personally, I don't think I would have had the courage the or the mental capacity to do those interviews alone. He definitely helped me through them, kind of, put me at ease, and he kind of made me. He definitely gave me the tools I needed to be doing what I'm doing right now. And I mean, obviously, the show as it's in itself, I was very much um at the beginning of the show, I didn't necessarily know what I was doing too much. I was kind of rigid when it came to how things were formatted, and kind of trying to be professional and all that. And talking to Scooter, formatting the show, it definitely made things smoother. It made the format that we do today the way it is today. Um, Obviously, sharing the news and previewing and reviewing the shows, with some laughs, some entertaining anecdotes in them. Um, so yes, Scooter Dust has undoubtedly 100% changed wrestling with entertainment for the better, has impacted my life greatly, and I definitely would not be where I am today without him. Um, just an incredible individual. I don't think people quite understand. Obviously they know the person that we talk to recording the show with. As the guy that says the inappropriate stuff that I say, will you stop it too? But but Scooter was a great human being. He was a substitute teacher for um, special needs children. He was a big advocate and spokesman for mental health awareness, and he even was in the Gay Pride Parade in New York, a part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know that we're not the only ones that his life impacted. I know that there's a lot more that know who Scooter Dust is, um, and that he was loved and he will definitely be missed. Kaliko, could you speak to Scooter Dust?
Yeah, man. When you told me, it just wrapped around like my head. I spent the whole week trying to come up with something, and trying to do words to do him justice, and it's really hard because that guy was a walking wrestling encyclopedia, to say the least. I think he first met him, he knew his stuff, and that's me. That was the one thing. Hey, if you're gonna do this, you gotta know something, right? Just can't go in blind. Um, he knew his stuff. He gave us the wrestler's perspective, which was like the in-ring psychology of it all, and how it could impact, how a crowd can react or not react. He was very instrumental to this show as far as making it the show where it's every. And I always say it's more kind of like a Dan Lebatard-ish format, where it's helter-skelter about everything else except for wrestling, which I think the audience loves. It's wrestling, but it's everything else in between, too. He was also the guy that, during these interviews, man, he was the researcher, dude. He made me work hard to research things for interviews that I was fortunate to do with him, which goes to show, man, you had to do your homework when you were coming to do, these interviews. It would, what would get me, and I never told him this. I wish I had told him. So it's like every time he would pop a question, I was like, God damn it, It was just like, damn, man, he's just like, he was good. When the interviews came, he asked the right questions. When it came to the wrestling, he knew his stuff. When it came to, our favorite matches, he was popping matches. I was like, what? So, he was a wealth of knowledge. Honestly, it just truly sucks because he was just hit his birthday, and to me, and I just, we were both roughly the same age and of the same generation, so it just truly sucks that, like, New York just lost a funny guy, right? A funny, kind guy, a guy who cared about wrestling and the business, who looked out for others in trying to get people on with the remix and trying to get people with alternative commentary and working with the Smoking Dragons. It was just, he was all over the place. He was a guy that was all over the place, and I could still talk to him about stupid stuff like WWE Supercard. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting here talking about WWE Supercard, freaking Among Us, Marvel movies. Honestly, for the audience, the show didn't end because it went off the air. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
And me and James were guilty of holding this guy because, we're on West Coast time, so it's, of course, we're like, oh, night's just getting started. He's like, dude, it's like 3, 4 in the morning. I gotta get. But he still took that time to, just chit chat and, some of the, and it just goes to show, man, you can never take those moments for granted. I think that's the biggest key out of it all. And I think, I was just, like I said earlier, I was trying to figure out something to do him justice. And I was just like, all I could do is just keep him alive by living and accomplishing for him, right? And if anything, this is it's very somber, but it kind of lit a fire for me to get back into this. And as everybody knows, I've just been on and off the last couple of weeks, but life kicks me in the ass. But he had no excuse, he made no excuses. Life kicked him in the ass, and he still showed up. And I respect that consistency and dedication from him. He was one hell of a guy, man, and he will be missed because there was no other person that could help me ragtag James the fact that he wasn't existing yet. But a lot of this popped off other than Scooter. So I'm truly gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that hell of an individual, man. Like, um, yeah, man, it just truly sucks. At this point, it truly sucks. Um, dude, I just want to say, dude, you were loved. We already miss you already, and we'll see you on the other side, my friend.
Hell yeah. And it's kind of somewhat bittersweet. I talked to him literally last week. We did the show, and the last thing I talked to him was it was his birthday the next day. And I was like, um, happy birthday, man. Don't do anything strenuous. Take it easy. And he was like, no, I won't. And take care of it as well. And, I'm glad that I had that last moment just to kind of say, happy birthday. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Um, just to kind of know, to let him know that he was loved, that I loved him. Like, he already knew that. I know that he did. But, you want to say it at least one more time before you don't get the chance again. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yes, Scooter, like you said, he was a big fat nerd. He loved his Marvel. He loved his Star Wars. He loved his wrestling.
Gamers. He was a gamer.
He knew he would play the most obscure games, and I was like, "What? Why the fuck are you playing that?" Like, that there's like Call of Duty and Mario and shit like that, and he just liked really obscure things. And I mean, when it comes to obscure references, he was primarily the king of that.
Oh yes.
And the thing I loved the most about him was that I could pop the most obscure reference you could come out with, and not only would he know what I was talking about, but he would have a comeback for me.
Yes.
Yeah. And like you said, he loved his wrestling. He knew his wrestling. As much as you and me love wrestling, I think he knew just a little bit more than both of us. That always kind of light a fire under my ass because I always wanted to beat him at the trivia, and I did at once. But
Controversy at the tree.
Yeah. But it was still. It made me want to grow and be better, to be on his level when it came to things like that. And yeah, it was. I'm always going. I'm always going to remember that last um show we did, all three of us, which was the SummerSlam show, a review show. You just came back from Ohio, and that was us at our best. If I'm being honest, that was what I always wanted the show to be. Just talking shit, having fun. We made our own wrestling show, Violence at the Vatican, that we were going to get produced at some point.
That's right.
And it was just a lot of fun. That was the last time all three of us was all together, and I'm glad that we were able to be on all cylinders for that show, because it was a special show. Obviously, more so now. And like you said, we've taught we talked more off air than we do on air. In all honesty,
Oh yeah.
one time I remember Grease 2, if you remember that.
Oh, Grease 2. Hell yeah, because Grease 2 to me is better than Grease. I know that's a hot take, but I die on that hill.
Yeah, and Scooter was there for the whole conversation, and we put Grease. We added Grease to literally every movie title we could possibly do that night, and we went until like 12 a.m. our time, so it was probably like 4 a.m. his time.
4 a.m. his time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man, fun times. Fun times.
Yeah. So often imitated, never duplicated. Scooterdust was one of a kind. Going forward, I don't think the show will ever be the same because we're never gonna find anybody quite like him. Incredible individual. Fantastic son, a brother, a uncle, and our best friend. And I love you, man. I really appreciated knowing you all this time. And our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, your friends. I know this is probably a really hard time for them, so yeah. I mean, it was hard for us to do this. And we definitely didn't know you nearly as long as your family, clearly. But I know you're in a good place, and I know that you're happy and you're rested.
Hopefully he's somewhere playing Animal Crossing, because that was his shit. I don't know. He would play Animal Crossing during the show, after the show. that was his shit. And, yeah.
Hopefully, wherever he is, there's no Marvel snap, because that caused him a lot of rage and anxiety.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Uh,
So I am going to go with two our sponsors. The commercial will still be Scooterdust's voice. That is not going away. He is always going to be doing the commercial. That's always going to be a part of this. We're going to throw it to our sponsors, and then we're going to regroup. And we're going to give you the news. We're going to talk about pro wrestling and yeah, see where the show goes from there. So now a quick word from our sponsors. So
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with the news. Um, like a day or two ago, it was reported that Asuka and Shayna Baszler has signed new deals with WWE. Are you at all surprised, Kalika?
Mm, not really. I mean, Asuka, shit. I'm to me, I've always been the Asuka. Asuka is it. She when she first came in, she hit that shit like a hurricane. So it's nothing new to me with her. Shayna, it's a little bit. I wouldn't say it's not surprising, but I think she's finally finding her footing with this group. They're kind of finally putting her in the Shayna Baszler that we grown to have known. Because I mean, at one point these were two of the most dominant women in NXT.
Right.
So I think for Shayna it's important because she just gotta get back to where she was. Asuka, obviously, coming off injury, it'll be a while to get the rust off, but when she's on, and hey, Damage Control is on, it's great, and they gotta continue to feud, so it makes sense. Like it's not like they could pull a Odyssey Jones. Oh, sorry, spoke too soon. But yeah, it's good for them. Great for Asuka, great for Shayna, and hopefully we just get more bangers out of them.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that I don't really see Asuka going anywhere. Honestly, I mean, she is she's always been treated really well in WWE, and from what I've heard from other places, she's not so well in Japan. So why would she kind of go back on that level when she could stay where she's obviously appreciated?
True. I also think that she needs to win at Mania.
Yeah.
She's done everything with the exception of that.
And like you said, Shayna's just kind of hitting her stride right now with this group. So, it would make sense that she would obviously want to stay. And I'm not necessarily surprised that she stayed, but, you do question sometimes, is somebody happy where they are? Clearly she isn't. So, we're going to be seeing her on WWE TV for quite some time.
And just to piggyback, I mean, that kind of goes in with Chad Gable. Like, all the people that they're resigning are people that are finally getting that stride, right? And what I really like about it is the formula is so far to me is working because it's making all the other people important. Those people who are the Shayna Baszlers because you don't have to have a Cody out every week. You find underlying stories into other people's paths. And these three obviously have paths that they need to follow. And they're hitting their stride in it. So why not ride it out?
We're talking about somebody that isn't hitting their stride. Powerhouse Hobbs. Haven't seen him on AEW TV for quite some time, which led to speculation on what's his contractual obligations right now. Tony Khan was quick to kind of put things to rest and kind of say, no, he's still under contract. He was just injured and making sure that he's okay. Obviously Tony Khan, notorious liar. Um, Do you think that Powerhouse Hobbs might be leaving AEW sooner rather than later?
Mm.
And would he do
It's
well in WWE, for that matter, as well?
well, that's the thing. I think we're kind of stuck in this thing where if everybody leaves, one goes to WWE and the other one has to go to AEW. First off, it's an injury. He needs to go ahead and get healthy. That's just kind of like the number one thing that needs to matter the most. With him, I mean, he's still in the Don Callis stable, I'm assuming. so,
Honestly, he's probably part of the Blackpool Society now, for all we know.
Dude, that's the thing with AEW. Like, they just had like so many gangs, and no one kind of really stays with it.
Right.
Be like, oh, he's still in the group. Oh, he left the group. Oh, he, they don't make it like, oh, he's departed. So I think he'll be back. I think he's gonna try to make it work with AEW. He is a big mofo, and he can go when need be. I just think that not WWE, but AEW just needs to get in the mode of making everybody's path important. And that, I think, is an issue. I think that's the biggest issue. Because the Powerhouse Hobbs, I think he if he comes back, let's see him come back. Let's see where it goes. Other than that, hopefully he's not lost in the shuffle. Because the flavor of the month is Ricochet. I kind of feel like AEW's Baskin Robbins, but maybe he'll go back to being the flavor of the month because their flavor of the months change.
Yeah, 52 flavors, and it's Ricochet this time around.
I know Ricochet's the flavor of the month now.
He said that he's already excited to be on Ring of Honor next month, so. I wish that was a joke. That's literally something he tweeted.
But I mean, that's good to get him back on Ring of Honor. My problem is that the Ring of Honor that we know is not that. That's not that Ring of Honor.
Yeah, this is Ring of Honor Light. And
I mean, not even light. Not even light. Ring of Honor 0.
It has 0 carbs.
Just 1 calorie, not Ring of Honor enough.
Which is terrible, kind of terrible to say, considering like Billy Starks is like really hitting her stride there. But unfortunately, if it happens in the woods,
No, now I will say that the women's side is kicking. It's just that ever since they introduced the women's side, it's been kicking. Even before AEW took over. It's just that they haven't. Because Ring of Honor, and for those who don't know, it used to be a cult. Like, at one point, that was probably the second biggest promotion in this goddamn country.
Not really, but I get what you mean.
It was okay. Put it like this: in WWE's down years, Ring of Honor was at least ahead of TNA.
I would agree with that. Yes.
There we go. So that's how dope Ring of Honor was. But I mean, it's just but it is what it is. Hopefully they kind of revitalize it, try to capture the magic that made people love Ring of Honor in the first place. I'm rooting for that. I think everyone's rooting for that.
Definitely. And we talking about revitalizations, Saturday night's main event making a comeback. There should be some type of announcement in the next couple of days But what are your thoughts on the Saturday night main event coming back, getting that revitalization?
I, this has to be like something to appease Peacock, right? Well, I'm just trying to figure that out, right? Like what channel this is gonna be on and what you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, it's gonna be
Am I the only one?
it's gonna be on NBC.
Oh gosh, I told you they just appeasing them. I let's see where it goes. Hopefully, it's just not a bastardized version like it was in the 2014s.
What do you're looking for it to be something major? Is that right?
Yeah, because I mean, Saturday Night Main Event. No offense, it used to just have like uh, not the greatest of matches.
Hey, was it Saturday Night main event or the main event that Hulk Hogan wrestled Andre?
That was Saturday Night Main Event. But then remember, they brought it back as Saturday Night Main Event, and they had opened with CM Punk versus Mark Henry, and then it just from there. And this is CM Punk, WWE Champion CM Punk.
Yeah. I get that. Well, I feel like maybe if you start off hot with a big match that people want to see, maybe we get Roman Reigns versus Solo round one. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's going to be like a definitive finish to that match, but maybe something that will progress the story to the next phase. Maybe Solo versus Cody, or basically what you're kind of saying is if they treat it big, it will be big, right?
Exactly. I mean, because keep in mind, they're trying to do Saturday Night Main Event on NBC, right?
Yeah.
NBC just signed the Big Ten deal. So they're doing Saturday night college football along with Sunday football. So they have to make it worth. I mean, granted, it's on Channel 5. Everyone has Channel 5. But just like SmackDown, just because SmackDown was on a channel everybody can watch it on doesn't mean everyone is interested in watching it. And that's the biggest key.
Right. I get that.
And that's what I'm trying to give them something to actually want to tune into rather than just trying to cling on to the Notre Dame football game after it's over.
I got you. Alright, speaking of Cody Rhodes, in the midst of controversy right now, Cody Rhodes is being sued over the American Nightmare nickname by a band called the American Nightmares. This sounds really fucking stupid, right?
Considering that he only brought that name up about 10 years ago? This would have made sense in 2014, 2016?
Yeah. That sounds about right.
10 years later? About 10 years later you bring this up? Like, yeah.
It's
kind of like DDP trying to sue Jay-Z for the Diamond Line. Kind of dumb. It really is. It's dumb. They're just trying to get a bag. And that's okay. Get your bag. But I knew it was a problem. I knew they were going to have a problem with it. Because it's funny, this lawsuit comes right after there's a video on Twitter of Cody Rhodes' theme music being played by HBCU bands. I'm just gonna throw it out there. When you got the HBCU bands playing his music, Hotep Cody, all of a sudden, oh yeah, let's see this.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's only a problem until they're making a lot more money than we are. Did you,
mean, but that's a little late, though. I mean, little, that's a lot of late. Like, there's gotta be a statute of limitation on some dumb shit like that. Like, bro.
I feel like there should be at this point. Who sings Stairway to Heaven?
Oh, shit. Oh, God, I totally forgot who sang
That's not Aerosmith.
I want to say, ooh. And I'm the music guy. I should know that. Led Zeppelin, there you go.
Led Zeppelin, there you go. Agreed. Stairway to Heaven, one of their biggest songs, right?
Right.
Somebody sued them for those for the beat like a couple of years ago. I'm not joking about that. Somebody sued Led Zeppelin because the beat seemed similar to a song they made maybe a year or two prior to Stairway to Heaven coming out. And they decided to sue them in the 2010s. How the fuck does that make sense?
Hey, music is finicky, though. Music be finicky. I'm going to tell you right now, because some of the biggest lawsuits are just from little clips that even seem. I'm just. Shit. Childish Gambino got sued for This Is America. Who is it? The biggest one that people know about is Robin Thicke. Marvin Gaye estate came after that ass.
And they got that ass.
And they got that ass. Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran. I mean, music is finicky in the sense where it's like you can only so much music can be really innovated. Like you can't like trademark the C minor chord, right?
Yeah.
But with wrestling, it's different in the sense that it's just, dude, it ain't like this name came out of his. I mean, the name didn't come out of his ass. He literally did a whole video intro for the whole goddamn thing. I still remember that when he got released.
Yeah, well,
he did a whole video intro about who the fuck he is, and they didn't just think. They didn't do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where it's like, ooh, 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 ooh. Right? Like, come on. Only because now it's on t-shirts and shit.
Oh, yeah.
But they'll settle and get their bread and call it a day. Shame on you. Shame. This is where I wish we had our guy. He should play the Shame album. Shame.
He probably had it, yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, so you think they're actually going to get some type of money out of this, or is WWE just going to squash it?
I think it's not. It depends on what the lawsuit is. If it's Cody, they'll probably get settlement. WWE ain't budget, so
right.
The WWE doesn't own it.
Actually, yeah, that's right. They don't. And if I'm not mistaken,
So
it's not WWE they're suing. It is Cody Rhodes that they're suing.
Yeah, so they'll get a bag. They'll get a couple $100,000. Because Cody looks like the type of person that'll be like, okay, let's come to an agreement.
Right.
I'll let you guys play the intro at Survivor Series. The American Nightmares, play the American Nightmares, and I'll give you $200,000. Bye-bye. See, I mean,
we're keeping up.
He looks like the type of guy that would do that.
We're keeping up on getting sued and being sued. Kevin Kelly and the boys are suing AEW. The boys are not, a new band. It is, in fact, Dalton Castle's The Boys.
Homies.
Yeah. I believe they reported about them, their issues with AEW, in the past. But this is the first time I'm hearing that they're actually taking legal action. Kevin Kelly has gone on record to say that he was suing AEW in the past. I think this is the first time AEW is getting sued by actual wrestlers or wrestling talent. What are your thoughts about this, and do you think that anything is actually going to come of it?
I need to see the what the hell is it called? affidavit. Is it the affidavit? You know what the hell I'm talking about. I need to see the fucking paperwork. I need to see what they're suing for. Because it's because they're trying to make it a class action lawsuit. And it's the I guess they're independent contractors or employees. I see that part, but I'm gonna have to dig deeper into that and just read it and figure out. I need to be in it like I was with the Vince one.
Yeah, you will learn what's on point with that one.
Oh yeah, I was when it's him, you gotta that ain't just popping out of the ass. But it was filed on August 30th. It's been a couple weeks. Hopefully we can find it, and if I find it, I'm digging in it, and we gonna go over that afterwards. I feel like I should do these. We should start a wrestling legal clash at the courtroom. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, if they have something of it, if they have a gripe, they have a chance to get it heard in court. We just got to figure out what it is and go from there. But it's weird that Kelly and the boys are joining together in this.
I think that maybe they feel like if there's more of them, that there's maybe a better chance of getting hurt, or I mean, that's why people typically, join forces when it comes to these things.
Or they're trying to get other people to come in and help. Like I said, like a class action lawsuit. Have you been shitted over by Nick Khan? Well, join us in this one. You know what I mean? Come talk to us then. Kelly and Kelly, law firm. Or you might be eligible for compensation. You know that shit.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to go anywhere. I would not be surprised if Tony Khan just decided to pay them a large sum of money just to go away, because that does seem like the Tony Khan way. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. If I had to make a guesstimation what Scooter would say, he'd probably say he'd let Kevin Kelly and the boys join him on one of his benders for cocaine and hookers for one time. And then I would say, will you stop it? And then he would laugh.
I mean, he might not be wrong there. Coke and strippers there's always coke and strippers somewhere.
Yeah. You're not wrong about that. Alright, and a place where there was a lot of coke and hookers, the original WWE headquarters.
Oh, damn. Damn, you just said WWE was Enron. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Gotta love my segues. They are actually selling the original Titan Towers. It's gone for rent. And like, wow, what a time if you could rent that building. Like, one of the biggest, so much history happened in that building. To some degree, I do hope that it gets preserved rather than demolished, but what are your thoughts?
I don't know, because what happened in Vince's affidavit happened at Titan Towers. That's a whole different situation right there. But yes, Towers is iconic. I still remember the Super Bowl commercial they had there. Oh man, that building had the Super Bowl spot, and the DX spray painting all over it. Yeah, it's an iconic building.
I mean, one of the bottom matches took place in that in the tower.
Is that the one Otis won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asuka and Otis.
And he lost it in court. The only person to lose the money in bank court. Anyway, But yeah, I mean, it's an iconic building. We'll see how it works. I mean, hopefully they're doing it for the low, because it'd be like, this is where Vince sexually assaulted. So much sexual assault happened in that building.
Please stop it.
I'm just saying. That's public record, sir. I'm sorry.
If you,
It is.
you could still smell it to this day. And if you have,
Oh God,
and if you have
no.
a
John
blue light-
Laurinaitis.
if you have a
Think
blue
about
light,
that. John
you can still
Laurinaitis
smell
was
it.
out there ramming people in that shit. Like, think about John Laurinaitis was out there busting it wide open. Oh God, I'm done. Help me, Lord Jesus.
Well, that's another great segue into Odyssey Jones, no longer with WWE. It came out earlier this week that there were some domestic violent allegations against him. WWE has always kind of been the wait and see type of stance. But considering that he wasn't on Monday Night Raw, and he's been a big part of the New Day and the Last Testament rivalry, and there was no mention of him, it kind of seems like WWE has completely written him out, even though there hasn't been any official document that he's been fired.
Well, this is where I have to figure out, is this because if this was WWE private company, one thing, and what I mean by WWE private company, not under TKO WWE, right?
Right.
So the questions I have, and I know they ain't gonna answer, was this a TKO thing? A TKO telling WWE to do a thing? A WWE did some research and realized there was some shit popping off thing? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or is it you know what I'm saying? Because that moved quick. Like, Enzo got more benefit of the doubt
Right.
than that. So it had to been some fire where it was.
I haven't necessarily heard anything about it, other than that there were domestic abuse allegations against him. I haven't heard anything more than that, or that the person came forward, or that it was a big, what to do. Only that it was happened and WWE took action. So it is interesting because I do believe this is the first thing that's happened of this nature. It's the first thing that's happened like this under the Triple H regime. So if that's how they're dealing with things, then that's how they're dealing with things at this point, I guess. But I feel like some type of a statement should have been said, like, we fired him. You know what I mean? But we haven't even got that. He just got moved to the alumni section of the website.
Hey man, some things you ain't gotta tell everybody. Sometimes some shit you don't need to tell nobody. But
Well,
I get your point.
Hoping, but I mean, it might.
But I think it had to have been something. Something had to have been there, because it's odd to have him get ready to break up only like the longest running faction ever since the Four Horsemen, and then all of a sudden pluck the man who's gonna make it happen from there.
Right. And it must have been really bad shit, clearly.
Unless they were doing their own investigation, because it could be something where they saw it coming. But I don't give WWE that benefit of the doubt, because they shit wouldn't have put them on TV if they knew that shit was coming.
Right, and prominent role.
Right. So, yeah, that's a huge deal to be the dude that's about to make Xavier Woods turn heel. And like I said, carrying Cross out here, catching these bodies, making everybody change their personality. Okay.
A little bit, that's a little too, deep, personalized, but okay.
I mean, he is catching bodies. Hey, man, he made AJ turn heel. He made Nakamura come back straight. He made, come back the good guy. He made Rey Mysterio's son turn on him. Like, this dude's been, like, fucking people up. The Miz was a heel, now he's a face. Like, Jesus.
If only he got actual credit for it.
I mean, honestly, there's people in the community who are putting those timelines there. It's just that people are not really, because once again, we're kind of focused on the wins and losses of him when we should be focused on how he's making people come to the other side. Kind of like how Bray Wyatt was like that gatekeeper, but everyone that wrestled Bray wasn't the same.
But you do have to realize these are the same people that are saying that Tangaloa is better than Dusty Rhodes because he won a title in a WWE. One title that he was given.
Wait a minute, Karrion Kross said that?
No, the internet community said that.
Oh, I mean, I didn't say the dumb ones. I just said the ones who paid attention. Okay. I mean, we got our extremes, but I'm talking about the people that's got common sense. The 80%. Or how about this? It's rule of 10, right? 3 that are extreme, 3 that are not extreme, and then you got that 6 in the middle. We are part of that 6 in the middle, or at least I try to be part of the 6 in the middle.
I don't know. I think Tangaloa might be better than Dusty Rhodes. I mean, he literally did nothing to win a title, and he won a fucking title with one eye.
Hey, yeah, won a title with one eye, son.
Yeah, didn't need to lift a finger. Jacob Fatu did all the shit, did all the business.
Oh, Jacob Fatu, I cannot wait till they get okay. Rookie of the year. I mean, he's not a rookie, but shit, WWE's rookie of the year.
I mean, breakout star, yeah.
But yeah. Back to Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey out the paint, just like that. I mean, even that's weird because Velveteen's Dream didn't even get that kind of a cutoff that fast.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like,
it must have been really bad shit.
It must have been.
That's the only thing I could think. Either it was really bad shit, or they're covering. They don't want bad PR right now. So they're covering their asses before anything bad happens. Just in my opinion. Alright.
What would be the PR for someone that just popped on TV? Like,
well, I mean, you don't want
brand new rookie. It's not like the NFL where they go NFL player. Da, 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 da.
Well, I mean, your new superstar that you're trying to promote is suddenly has domestic violence allegations against them. You know, it's not the best, look.
You know what that's about to start, right? Background checks. They're about to start background checks.
What?
You're gonna have to damn near have a perfect secret clearance to work for WWE now. God damn it.
Or somebody coming back.
There goes my,
yeah.
There goes my hopes. Well, now I work for, I mean, with my job, I got a clearance. I think it can transfer over. Hoping.
It was reported earlier this week, or maybe it was just announced, that WWE legend Victoria has signed a Legends deal to be featured with merchandise, make a couple appearances. be featured in content going forward. Um, this has to spark some speculation that Victoria is going into the Hall of Fame this year, no?
Next year, maybe. I mean, it's in Cali. I mean, it's Vegas. She lives in Dago. Uh, she's still alive. So, I mean, yeah, it's coming down the pike. That girl choked me in front of my 2-year-old son.
Hmm.
Real talk. I mean, never mind. Scratch. We took a picture, and the picture is of her choking me while I'm holding my 2-year-old son.
Well,
Which is the oddest picture ever. Because my kid is like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
Why'd you piss her off?
Like, why is this bitch choking you? Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, but congrats to her. She's long overdue. She's probably been like she has always been the WrestleCon staple. She stayed at WrestleCon a lot. So, I mean, hopefully she can still get more of those appearances and get that bread, baby. Plus, she had Dago, so I'll probably catch her around somewhere. Whole Foods somewhere.
Quite possibly. Somebody else that signed renewed his contract with WWE for Legends deal. One Hulk Hogan. And if you've heard his interview with Logan Paul on last week, you know he added quite a bit of buzz and controversy when it comes to just being Hulk Hogan. But I feel like that's just Hulk Hogan at this point. No, Kaliko?
I mean, it's weird because I got an autographed Hulk Hogan figure, and my kid it's in his room, and I'm like, I really want to get rid of it. Hulk Hogan's stock is plummeting right now, all because he just decided to jump into politics. The dirtiest thing we can think of right now. But he felt the conviction to do it. He did it. Now the problem with that is it's making that Gawker tape that he did 12 years ago seem a lot more accurate than what we tried to give him the benefit of the doubt of. But I mean, Hulk Hogan, for all that's worth, you can separate Hulk Hogan the wrestler from Hulk Hogan the man, and Hulk Hogan the wrestler. Without him, this shit, Hulk Hogan the wrestler, it wouldn't even be this. So, congratulations, Hulk Hogan the wrestler. Terry Boella, step on a stack of needles. But,
do you actually know what he said during the interview?
No, I don't. But I mean,
would you like me to tell you what he said?
I mean, I just saw him at a certain thing, and then that kind of rubbed everybody the wrong way. But
Well,
go ahead.
Well,
Please add gasoline to this. Dame más gasolina, as Daddy Yankee says.
Well, let's start with the least offensive of all the things he said. The first one saying, Bret Hart hates everybody. He's just, Bret Hart hates everybody. The dude needs to learn how to not take himself so seriously. Not so
well. But Bret Hart has beef with Hulk Hogan. Legit beef.
I feel like that's maybe not the most controversial thing you could say. I mean, Bret Hart does have beef with everybody. Like, he can...
Not true.
Not
true. He buried it with Shawn. If he buried it with Shawn, and Shawn was like, mad personal, I'm pretty sure he don't hate everybody.
I mean,
come on, man.
This is still the guy that said fuck Goldberg.
Goldberg fucking damn near killed him. I would say fuck him too.
Okay. The second thing
If someone fucking paralyzed half of my side for a while, I'd be like, fuck you too. Shit, man, look. Dead ass. And the Hogan thing, though, the Bret Hogan thing, though, that goes to like 93. So that's like WrestleMania 9.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was finicky. Even 9-year-old me was like, why the fuck is this dude? Why the fuck this dude pop off helping him? And Bret's like, yeah, go get the title that I couldn't get. Like, the fuck?
You were like,
it felt like
you were like, I can't wait for James to be born so we could talk about this shit in 20 years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, or it's like when you can't beat the dude, but the dude that's trying to help you get yourself better, you tell him to go kick his ass for you. Like, what? Like, what? But yeah, but then again, that was the whole thing because Hogan was supposed to lose it to Bret, and that didn't happen. So I mean, that's 20 years. That's like damn near half him, of course. And Bret Hart, I'm just gonna be like this. I'm Team Bret with this one because I've seen his wife. He is invited to the cookout. Team Bret all the way, sir. So let's go to the second most, the second controversial statement.
Hulk Hogan claims that he never used creative control in his WCW run.
Now that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bull. Shit. Eric Bischoff got some shit to say to you, sir.
I mean, and
Macho Man, if he was alive, he'd be like, motherfucker. So yeah, that's Cap all the way.
And the last thing he said was, the most controversial was that wrestling fans are very forgiving and that he's fortunate that they were able to forgive him. They're so forgiving that they forgave Chris Benoit for all the bad shit he did. So he's grateful that they forgave him for everything that he's done.
Oh God, Jesus
I'm paraphrasing
Christ.
here, but yeah, that was basically what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in the same sense with Benoit?
It is a very bizarre
I think
comparison.
it is a bizarre comparison. I think now there's an extreme where people think the wrestler is the human being. There are people like me where I could separate blank the wrestler from blank the person. Like Chris Benoit is a human being. That part, hey, that's some shitty shit. Chris Benoit is a wrestler, pretty goddamn good. Am I gonna die on that hill? Not a hill worth dying on. Same with Hulk Hogan. But the problem is he's so transformational. He's a transformational figure because he is the genesis of the Mount Rushmore that we know as wrestling. Now, some people are going to say Ric Flair, and some people have their right to say that, but when most people think wrestling, they're thinking Hulk Hogan.
Right.
He was the first pro wrestling celebrity. Not saying Ric Flair wasn't, but Ric Flair wasn't on the cover of Sports Illustrated, motherfucker. Like that was a big fucking deal. Like that a guy from a sport where people say it's quote unquote fake is on the cover of a magazine that covers all sports. Like so he's just being the polarizing figure that he is.
I feel like he does say a lot of stupid shit just to get people buzzing and talking. You know, he is from a very, you know, he's from the bygone era where, you know, you stirred a pot. You know, you put yourself over, brother. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. People easy for speaking at the. See, now this is where it goes crazy, and I'm about to go left. So there's been these underlying memes of Hulk Hogan being low key racist, and he's not doing anything to quell that, right? In the eyes of the African American community, right? So these comments is somewhat par for the course. I take him as that's Terry Boella, not Hulk Hogan. Even though it's like, oh, but he is. You get my point. He's talking as Hulk Hogan the man, not Hulk Hogan the wrestling character.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just weird. But he hasn't been right since he decided to. I think a lot of people, when he put himself in the politic arena, that's when it kind of went left.
Oh, actually, it's the right.
No. I'm talking about the whole. I mean, Hulk Hogan was already left. Is when I'm talking about not left as in left-right politics.
Right.
I'm just talking about going left, like off the track. Like, that shit just went off the rail. So now you're at this point where it's like, there's people like literally in their community like fuck Hulk Hogan or he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
And the last bit of news this week, it was announced that former WWE superstar Emma has unfortunately got injured with the 9-month injury of pregnancy.
God damn it, Madcap Moss. Anyways.
Yes, the injury was inflicted by Madcap Moss.
Yeah. Congrats on the baby. It should have been me. But anyways, congratulations to Emma. I told you, I ride on Emma's hill till the day I die.
Yes, you are a big Emma fan.
But her with Madcap.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the guy with the suspenders that was there, the Iggy's Iggy. I mean, hey, it speaks volumes about her career, no?
I mean, it just made me. About this. Yeah, you are, because to me, it broke my heart. I thought I had a shot. I was at LAX? The LAX Wrestle. I was there. I was spitting my game, yo. I was trying to raise it up. There goes my baby. Oh, God. Oh, my baby got a baby. It's okay. I live. I'll move on.
I think you'll be fine. And I think your wife would appreciate that as well.
Hey, man. Miss Parker, you next.
Parker?
Jada Parker.
Alright. Sure. I guess.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Just going down the line. Whatever. First one that says yes.
Hey. There you go. Miss one. Buses. Miss one. Next 15 one coming.
Rachel? Alright. That will conclude our coverage of the news. And we are wrestling with WWE Bash in Berlin. Took place last Saturday at the Uber Arena. Kind of sucks that we did, our tribute to, for somebody that was very Jewish, and now we're talking about Germany. And I don't think he'd appreciate that. But attendance was Attendance was 13,149. Uh, Not a bad crowd, definitely. Um, and yeah, I don't want to say that this was like their best PLE, but I think it hit the right marks that it needed in the right places. Not necessarily um the blow off, but just another chapter in the story. You not Scooter? Kaliko?
Now you can say that to the day I die. You can give him because he always went first. But anyways, um, a lot, a lot of the you're right. See the reason they went with this formula is because they knew they were gonna have some bullshit sometimes, I ain't gonna say bullshit. They're gonna have their B game sometimes.
Right.
And it's sometimes to have your B game in an area where the crowd will carry that shit to an A game. This was one of. You say what?
You're not wrong about that. That is the perfect explanation.
So that's why this was one of those moments where it was like, yeah, you gotta be. It's a B game card because the card wasn't bad. It's a B game card. It's just the crowd made it go to an A because it's overseas and the overseas crowd has been just shitting on American crowd like it is nobody's business, with the exception of what, WrestleMania 40?
I think so, yeah.
No, I'd say WrestleMania 40 and SummerSlam were probably their two best crowds in America. So you're going against the whole globe. You know what I'm saying? France, Backlash France, shit. I mean, crowd of the year. Yes. So that's where it's like Berlin, that this formula works. So it did exactly what it needed to do.
Well, let's get into it. Yeah. What was going to add?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes defeated Kevin Owens in 23 minutes and 16 seconds. I don't know. I wasn't really invested in this. I think that this is probably Cody's weakest rivalry he's had since being WWE champion. It didn't seem like it could have been what it could have been. Kevin Owens is a very larger than life individual when it comes to his promos, when it comes to how he wrestles, when he comes to all of this. And maybe I'm in the majority, maybe I'm in the minority here. I like bad guy Kevin Owens. I like Kevin Owens when he is fucking somebody over and talking shit about how he's fucking you over while he's fucking you over.
Exactly.
And he cared so much about Cody's leg, and he didn't want to win the championship the wrong way. WWE, since Triple H has been in the driver's seat, a lot of things have made sense to me. But when it came to this match and Kevin Owens' mentality, it was kind of like, give me a fucking break. Break his fucking leg and win the fucking belt. To be Kevin Owens, you're the prize fighter. You fight for prizes.
That's what was killing me. I think you're not wrong, because I was. It felt like the 10-man wrestling with a heart, right? Like,
yeah,
it was because everyone was waiting for KO to KO,
right?
Because that's what
KO
does. That's what the fuck he does. He gets to the point where it becomes a goddamn where it gets to the point where it's a title and he's gonna fucking knock you over to get it.
The story of Sami Zayn.
That's been his MO. I mean, shit, John Cena. I mean, you could. It's the list. It ain't personal. It's business, and that's what I think. Personally, I hate that they stripped that element from him because that element had an element of even though he was a heel, it was the element of I'm a family man doing what I got to do to make sure you know what I'm saying?
100%, yes.
It was how can I put it? It was a Joker, but you could relate to it, and that's what I think they stripped that element from him. Of course, this wasn't his best rivalry because it really wasn't a rivalry. It was just more or less everyone's just thinking, and I think they did that for the purpose that Kevin typically bats 1,000 with fucking people over. so you know what I'm saying? It's okay to whip it out every now and then, but it's just the way that they. It's just the way that they did it that kind of threw it off, right?
Right.
It wasn't the best Cody Rhodes match. It did what it needed to do to prolong Cody's reign. I just don't like the fact that KO didn't give it 110%. And that's, I think, the ass kicking that he's going to be dealing with himself. Which maybe gets him back to that KO that we love.
I mean, do you see this going back to KO becoming a heel, or is this, well, we needed something to do with Cody Rhodes, and he was there?
I mean, it better, because he treated Cody better than he treated Sammy, Jericho, Cena, Kofi. Can I keep going? Shall I keep? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. How many stars you give this one?
The crowd made it a 3, and that's pushing it. That's like being friendly.
Yeah.
The friendliest 3 I've ever seen.
I'll give it a 3 as well. Alright. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill was given the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships after they had a friendly exhibition with the Unholy Alliance, Alba Firefest, and Isis Storm. I mean, we knew this was coming. I mean, a blindfolded Stevie Wonder in the basement could have seen this coming. Fire and Dawn only got the titles because Drew McIntyre wasn't winning and Piper Niven wasn't winning in Scotland, so they were literally the only.
Yeah, they had to give some all to the motherfuckers in Belfast.
They had to give the Scottish people fucking something, and
giving them something.
I mean, hey, they could say they defended the titles once, I guess. I mean, it doesn't say a lot when, you know, me and you have been WWE Women's Tag Team Champions at this point, so. I didn't necessarily like the match, but I don't necessarily see that it was a match you needed to like, just kind of accept because, you know, who won?
Yeah, because everyone, I mean, also because of the fact that, when they lost, everyone was kind of doing the countdown to the Jade Bianca shit. So that's kind of resets the timer.
Yeah, I get that. But I kind of felt like, again, they were going to win them back eventually. It was just, they needed to let it breathe for the other 2 girls to have somewhat of a run to say, hey, we just didn't give them the belts in Scotland. But yeah, they gave them the belts in Scotland.
Yeah, we didn't just take it off our two strongest women in the WWE for nothing. We had a reason. There was a method to that match.
It was salad. I give this 2 stars, and I'm being generous with that.
Oh, what?
I'm giving it 2 stars, and I'm being generous.
It's roughly that. I mean, it was everything without a squash match. Everything but the squash.
Cool. Now we got a strap match. CM Punk defeated Drew McIntyre by touching all 4 corners. Was you surprised that this was the 4 corners rather than the pinfall like they've been doing in the last couple of years?
No, and here's why. Because the first match was mired in so much controversy with the ref that you could bypass Punk getting pinned, right?
Yeah.
You can't bypass him if he pins McIntyre now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got that.
And that's why it had to go that route. It was just to give Punk the win, in a sense where he just beat him because he did it within the rules, not because he beat the brakes off his ass. And that's why I think Bad Blood kicks in. Where they're heading for Bad Blood. So that's why I think it did what it did. Honestly, this is the rivalry that Cody and Kevin should be. I just wish it was that personal. I mean, but everything is on point with it. Especially even afterwards with, I mean, also Joe Tessitore, shout out. I loved the way he called that. I think that was the best way, his best call of the night, the Punk Drew shit. By the way, but
Tessitore, who just joined WWE, I do think he did a great job as well.
You know what's crazy, people? I call it the Morrow. It's the Morrow madness, right? Because I think people are expecting everyone to be the next Morrow. Because Morrow, I ain't gonna lie, he's number 1 in my book. Only person that can make anything hip hop referenced. I told him I'll listen to a soundtrack of you just reading your commentary with hip hop references. But Joe Tessitore, if people don't, I mean, most people probably don't know him, but he's a big boxing kind of guy. And when the emotion is there, he's there. And I think that was his best element, when the emotion was there. When it was like, get him out the damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that to me was his peak. But so I think he's gonna be fine. He's so far so good, very solid indeed. But back to the CM Punk rivalry. Yeah, it was just meant to push it forward, because, and it also gave the illusion that Punk thought it was over. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, that's right.
So that's what it was meant for. Hey, you beat me at SummerSlam. Hey, I just beat you. I got my win back. We're even Steven. I got my win back. I got my bracelet. We're even Steven. And Drew was like, fuck the hell we are. So that's why.
No,
as Drew told me in Cleveland, everything he's doing is justified.
Yes. I thought the match was good. I thought the match at SummerSlam was better. It just kind of progressed what we needed to get progressed. Which, I'm not against. I haven't seen this type of bull rope match, strap match, whatever you want to call it, in quite some time. So I really enjoyed that element of it. And like you said, Punk thought it was over, and McIntyre being, it's over when I say it's over, uh,
Right.
is was a really good element. I'm glad that, on Raw, he didn't take the bracelet, he broke the bracelet, and he stuffed it down Punk's throat. That was this is the bullshit is over. There's no more games. We're doing this now, which is going to
Right.
obviously progress to Hell in a Cell in a month. Um,
Yep. And it also cut the bullshit that people were, oh, they're just fighting over a bracelet. The bracelet was never the point.
right. That yes. So it did everything it needed to do. It hit the right marks. Um, you know what? 4 stars. Kalika?
I'm gonna say 4. But what I am gonna say, and I wish we had our boy here to back this up, because I could have sworn the first 2 matches in Punk's AEW career was a regular match followed by a strap match.
No. I think you're thinking the MJF rivalry. The first match was a normal match, and then the second match was a strap match. But his very first match was with W.
No, I'm saying, didn't he have a strap? I thought he had a strap match with, what the fuck was his name?
MJF.
No, he did have one with MJF, but I thought he had another one with,
Hangman?
is it Cash? No, Wheeler.
Oh, no. I think you're thinking about Ricky Starks?
Maybe. Who knows?
He was
But
supposed
anyway,
to have a strap match with Ricky Starks, I believe.
that's right. He was supposed to have a strap match with Ricky Starks. See, look at Punk, man. Punk up the strap match king over this bitch. Like, shit, he's just like whooping people like Django in this hoe. Like shit, he ain't got no kids, but he'll put the whooping on that ass man.
You gave it 4 stars, correct?
Solid 4. It did what it needed to do, and like I said, this has been the rivalry of the year.
It's kind of weird. Even though there's 5 matches on the card, and I've been a big proponent of maybe, add at least one more match to these cards. It kind of felt like, and I mean this no disrespect to Cody, but it kind of felt like the first 2 matches were like a pre-show, and starting with this match, the real show kind of began.
Mm-hmm. It did because it felt like that because of the simple fact that Cody's fight with Kevin was really not a fight. It was more like a friendly match. It was a friendly because it felt like a friendly because it was a friendly.
Right.
It wasn't like Punk and Drew, who's been doing Hatfield McCoy shit over the last 9 months, and was just like, oh yeah, this is just getting started.
Right.
So that's why. It's just the dynamic. If this was, how can I put it? Cody Solo felt more like a friendly, even though it wasn't.
You're saying if Cody versus Solo seems more friendly?
It didn't feel personal. I put it this way. Cody Solo did not feel personal to me.
I mean, the personal wasn't necessarily with Cody. It was about Solo righting the wrongs of Roman, and that's what kind of made it the personal.
Well, it's not him righting the wrong, but the personal was him thinking he could be better than the person who lost. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I said it never felt personal between Cody and Solo, because their match was secondary to what Solo was trying to accomplish.
Right. I mean, he hasn't had Cody hasn't really had a rivalry right now, as of now. Where, like, oh, somebody kicked my dog, some type situation.
Not since Roman and Rock. Not since The Rock. And it's not going to get personal until The Rock comes back.
You think that's what they're waiting for? Just for The Rock to come back?
I wouldn't put it past them. Rock Cody at Mania in Vegas.
Right.
Because that's coming. It's coming down the pike. It's just a matter of winding that road to get there.
Well, let's talk about the next match. Next tag match. The Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, defeated the Judgment Day, Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan by pinfall. I actually really enjoyed this match, and the crowd was all fucking over it. Like, they were ready for this. They wanted to see it. It was only 14 minutes. They were loud for all 14 minutes of it. Rhea and Liv. Anytime Priest caught somebody, it was all. There was a lot of gaga. There was a lot of fun. It definitely was one of the more energetic matches of the night. It all worked, it all clicked for me. And obviously Rhea got the victory on Liv, so she's due another title match. So, progressing the story as well. What say you, Kaliko?
Totally agree. It did what it needed to do. The crowd was hot for this. But then again, like you said, it's personal. See, and that's the thing. It went from, and I like that he did it that way, the format, because you kind of want high and lows, but in this one, it felt like, okay, the first two matches are done, and now shit is picking up, right? And that's how you want the crowd to be. You want them to go up, not up, down, up, down, up, down. So, to me, this was the right call to have that match there. The crowd was hot for it. Dom did what he's supposed to do. Liv what she did, what she's supposed to do. Two scorned members who were getting their asses kicked left and right, to be quite honest. Like, I ain't gonna lie, say what you will about the Judgment Day, but they were like the Wu-Tang Clan on that ass for Liv and Damian, boy. And it just solidified that them two are a group amongst themselves. And yeah, it did what it needed to do. Gave Rhea a reason to go after Liv for the title.
And low-key, that promo that they cut the week prior was straight up fire. Like, you want to call us the bad guys, but we were never the good guys. We've always been the bad guys. And Rhea is like, if we didn't achieve what we got just by being nice.
That part. And honestly, it's just like, I'm just gonna break this down, as I never really got to break that down. I mean, I did a little bit. It's just perspectives.
Right.
If you're looking at Dom's perspective, bitch, you've been mean to me the whole time. I've been just nothing but a lackey the whole time. You've just been treating me like a little boy toy the whole time. And if you look at just Judgment Day in general, like, there's no leader. Y'all thought y'all were fucking... It's like the Temptations. They thought they were David Ruffin, and they treated us like Otis. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. and low key, most people may not believe this, it kind of showed itself at SummerSlam. At the pre-show. It showed itself at the pre-show. Because when Damian and then Dom sitting up here like, oh yeah, I talked to mommy. I talked to her. She's good with it. She's cool. And Damien's just coming out, well, I talked to her a week ago. What the fuck is you talking about? So it was always just like these little nuances that people probably didn't catch on that mattered. But back to the match, yep. I mean, shit. The crowd made this shit a 5 to me. Like I told you, it was a B show where the crowd carried it to the A.
So you're giving a 5?
Yeah, I mean the crowd was into it from start to finish. Even though it was 14 minutes, it told the story it needed to tell.
I agree with that. I'll give it 5.
And the crowd just enhanced it. They ate this shit up, start to finish.
Have we covered a WWE show this year where we haven't given at least one match 5 stars?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the Royal Rumble.
We would have to look at it. Because Royal Rumble, the women's, I thought was the best Royal Rumble they ever had.
That's right.
As far as the women.
But look at us.
The women's Royal Rumble was the best.
I mean, look at
shit,
us.
I'm trying to...
5 stars like Dave Meltzer right out of his ass. And,
Nah, because I would say this. Every match, every pay-per-view had at least one match where it was the shining match.
Right.
Match of the night. That's your 5-star match. Ta-da.
But I'm really curious what Dave Meltzer gave these matches on this card.
3 stars.
2.25. Like Uncle Dave has definitely not aged gracefully. Let's just say that. That brings us to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther defeated Randy Orton in 34 minutes and 28 seconds. I kind of go back to like what I said with Kevin Owens. When I like Randy Orton, it's when Randy Orton is a real bad guy. And, you know, when I think about Randy Orton at his best, like when him at the end of 2020, where he literally put on night vision goggles to beat up legends in the dark. Like, that is fucking badass. That's the focused Randy Orton that got him 14 world championships. I don't feel like we have that Randy Orton now. I don't necessarily feel he has that cold-hearted, hate that we've seen Randy Orton have in the past. And I never necessarily felt like Gunther's title reign was in jeopardy during this match. And it didn't seem like Randy was maybe as invested as he could have been either. But that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts?
I see what... Yeah, because, Randy's a better bad guy than this guy. I don't think this match was really about face heel. In a sense, this match was about Gunther proving that, because remember, they had the King of the Ring controversy. So that was something that they wanted, and they kind of put it to bed, but this really put it to bed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the goal that they were looking at. They were just trying to put that element of it to bed. I think that they did a good job of that. And it was just a solidify and to start Gunther's reign. Who else were they gonna put in that spot? Honestly, who else were they gonna put in that spot where you believe that he was gonna lose?
Sane or Dragunov. But I mean, we're going.
Who?
Sami Zayn. I think we're
No.
getting Sami Zayn and Gunther next. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's I kind of like how they're going with the honestly kind of like a New Japan approach. Like you're the champion now. All these people who've been kind of a thorn in your ass is coming to come get their stake for the title,
right,
right? So I think that is the start of his reign. I don't think his reign will ultimately. I think his reign will get to the dominance part, the cold heel part. Honestly, he's just. This is Gunther being. I am the best wrestler in the world. Don't tell me I deserve it because I know I fucking deserve it. And I am head and shoulders above everybody in this bitch. Come fight me if you want to, but it will be at your own peril. It's not even a heel. That's not really a heel thing, right?
right.
Like I'm the best, bitch. Like try me. He's basically trying me. Please come try me. And people are trying him. Randy tried him, failed. Sammy's gonna try him, and that one's gonna be a thorn in his ass because it's like, bitch, I've beaten you. So that's why he's playing this cat and mouse of, yeah, nah, I want to do it. You see what I'm saying? So it makes sense that he would do that. Why would I want to fight the dude that beat me and ended my longest reign? I'd be like, fuck you too. And these are the things you got.
Continue.
Yeah, put those in. No, you just got to put that into that context. But you can ask your question. Hopefully, I can answer.
What I was gonna say was I was surprised how split the crowd was. I thought that this was going to be CM Punk in Chicago for Gunther. You know, he only
no!
lived like a country over. Uh,
But it's Austria. Austria and Germany, keep in mind, it's the same as the Jewish in Germany. it's roughly the same thing. Now, if they had people come from Austria over to Germany, if they had the match in Austria, yeah. But I didn't think it was going to be a homecoming. Because more people in Germany are going to come. I didn't expect people to flock from Austria there.
I kind of felt like it would have been a little bit more pro Gunther, but I do give Gunther props. Like he was getting the most cheers he's had, you know, in his whole career, his WWE career that is. And he brushed it off like he did not give a fuck, and that's like the true sentiment of a heel. So I did appreciate that.
That's my point. Like he's the heel that he knows he's the best. He doesn't have to do. He's not a Miz heel or he's a chicken shit heel. He's not even an Orton heel where he's putting on goggles at night and fucking people up and they sleep. He's the bring your ass. I'ma fuck you up. It's kind of like Xerxes in 300. He is a more dominant version of Xerxes in 300.
How many stars?
Step if you want to. I'm fucking you up.
How many stars do you give this one?
I mean, 3.5. It did what it needed to do. I mean, the crowd was split, but my problem is, like you said, we knew Gunther wasn't gonna lose.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of took the luster out of it. It's kind of like the opposite of Punk. We knew Punk was gonna win, but we also knew where it's going.
Right.
And in this case, it was just a one-off in which you're just proving Gunther belongs.
I give it 3.5 as well. Alright, the show as a whole. How many thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
I mean, they don't mess with these overseas shows. I mean, thank God for the crowd, because the crowd is just like, God damn. Crowds don't miss overseas, and that's why they do it, because, like we said, when they bring their B shows over the seas, the crowd is giving them the A game. Because think about that shit. When the last time you had a pay-per-view in Berlin? They going ape shit. You would have thought they had the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Dead ass. Like, same with France. You would have thought these, like, them getting PLEs is like them winning the Super Bowl. That's like them winning the bid for the Super Bowl and hosting the bitch.
I give this an Orange Cassidy a thumbs up.
So lazy.
Yeah, lazy thumbs. Because what I liked, I really liked. And what I didn't necessarily, and that would probably be why I go back to this event. But what I didn't like, it didn't hit for me. So, kind of have to take the good with the bad, but the good kind of outweighed the bad at this point. So, I'm going Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
Orange Cassidy, the whatever thumbs up.
Yeah. All right.
I could dig it.
Now, that will conclude our coverage of WWE Bash in Berlin. And we are wrestling with AEW All Out. It takes place tomorrow. Actually, no, tonight. It's the 7th. Yeah. Why are they doing it on a Saturday? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, keep in mind they just flew in from London, so Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It takes place in Chicago, Illinois. Like, where the fuck else would they do it? Like, I mean, not like there's 49 other states. Puerto Rico's a part of the United States now. But, whatever. It takes place at the Wow Arena. Because they lost that good Allstate Arena because CM Punk's not attached to the company anymore. But I digress. Surprisingly, a pretty tamed card, if I do say so myself. There are only 8 matches. I mean, that could change. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the card or not, Kaligo.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen the card.
And your thoughts?
It's some of them I see going away. It's like I could tell who's winning what.
Yeah, I get that. Is it surprising?
It's like if I had to bet and have a parlay, I probably would pull a parlay.
Is it surprising that there's only 8 matches on the card? Because usually there's 15.
I mean, considering that, like we said, London took it all out of him, Bobby.
There was literally
there
was literally like 100 wrestlers on that card, and that's only
no, they had it all. They laid it all out of London.
I think some of them didn't come home yet.
Probably didn't. Took a vacay. I mean, keep in mind the last time they were in London, Jack Perry was out here fighting niggas. So I mean,
let's get into it. Singles match for the AEW International House of Pancakes Championship. Will Ospreay versus Deadline, the son of an unwed mother, Pick-Pac. Who wins?
Tupac. You mean Tupac? Tupac's back. I mean, that's why I say I could see Pac winning, but the problem is that Ospreay just got the belt back, So Osprey's winning.
I couldn't agree more. Now we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The middle-aged Fox match.
The Bucks. Next. The Bucks. You know what? Since we're in Chicago, the Bucks.
They're wrestling the Combat Wombats, Claudio Ida Canoli and George Willow Yuta. I just wanted to say their names.
I know you did.
Chicago Street Fight, Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway.
Is it me or Willow has just been winning all of these?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't watched a lot of AEW.
I mean, she's been winning all of these. For someone that got betrayed, she's sure out here beating that ass. Like, I thought the point of turning heel was to show that you're better than without them. Like, with that being said, it has to be Statlander. But then again, AEW will prove me wrong and then have Willow win again. Because keep in mind, who was it that when Orange Cassidy got betrayed by Trip Beretta, for some odd reason Trip Beretta couldn't win a goddamn match. Like, well, then why the fuck did you turn? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? What's the purpose? And I'm starting to get that with Chris. So Chris has to win. But it's AEW logic, and I'm betting Willow wins.
I would probably say Willow as well.
Like that's what pisses me off about it, because I'm like, this should be a blow off after Chris to beat her ass for a couple weeks, and Willow gets the final win. But Willow's been beating her ass with special big tags and singles, and I'm like, what the fuck is?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she was better when she was in the
next match.
Alright,
I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing against Willow, love Willow.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
Fatal four-way match for the AEW Continental Breakfast Championship. Kazuchika Okea versus Mark Briscoe, freshly pooped Orange Cassidy, and Kolkatska Takeshita. Who wins, Kaliko?
Talk about a fall off. This motherfucker went from main eventing to being in this match.
No.
And I'm talking about Okada. God damn it, man. Come on, man. Why did he do about that?
No, what you should be saying, he went from Okanos to Okea.
No, he went from Okanos to oh hell no. That's what he did.
Right?
Like, Jesus Christ. With that being said, Okada's gonna win. Okada is the best wrestler in this thing.
Well, with that logic, then Orange Cassidy's probably gonna win, no?
Watch fucking Orange Cassidy win. I'll break my goddamn TV if Orange Cassidy wins. Jesus Christ.
I feel like Okada is the logical winner, but then it's AEW, so then it has to be Orange Cassidy by default.
Watch take a shit away.
You know, that would be more preferable than Orange Cassidy winning. I mean, when's the last time Take a Shit has won a title, if any?
I mean, they haven't given. They don't give him the shine. Remember, he fought John Moxley in a New Japan title eliminator that was originally slated to be a New Japan title match.
So you're saying you can't sign the shit up?
I mean, take a shit, I ain't gonna win. That's for sure. It's gonna be Okanos for one night. because he's going to eliminate half these motherfuckers with a win.
Alright.
Well, all of them motherfuckers with a win.
And a basic generic one-on-one match, MJF versus Daniel Garcia. Who wins?
And why are we having this match again?
Because Daniel Garcia cost MJF the title at Wembley.
And MJF. I feel like he's got a contract clause. Like, bitch, I'm not losing to motherfuckers like that.
Watch how things get out of hand real quick. They have the referee draw out the match, and then they turn it into a street fight. How much you want to bet?
The problem is they got like 15 street fights on the card.
That's why I'm betting that this is going to turn into a street fight.
Oh God, choking on myself laughing so goddamn hard. Oh my God, they got like 30 street fights. You can't just like add an extra street fight.
Of course, it's AEW. But that being said, either way, MJF is winning the match. He didn't drive all the way from Staten Island or whatever part of New York he's from to Chicago to lose to Daniel Garcia.
Damn right he did.
Alright, next match, that bitch show title, Mercedes Monet, versus, who are you? Sheeta. Who wins, Kaliko?
It ain't Sheeta.
Correct.
How about that?
And Chamomile
Sheeta's about to be like, take a Sheeta. Just, yeah, how far she's fallen.
And Chamomile tea is banned from ringside. I should add that.
Oh, then she really gonna beat that ass.
I mean, why? Just why? What? I haven't watched. I don't understand why Sheeta is getting this match to begin with. I mean, I'm not against Sheeta. I've always been a Sheeta fan. But why is this happening?
Dude, they're just because Mercedes then already ran through goddamn half the roster in 4 matches.
And I mean, Mariah Carey just won the title. Why isn't she defending her title?
Who?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Because it meant more.
So they're saving her.
I mean, they're gonna have to save her. I think, but she just defended it. I want to say Wednesday.
Did she?
Yeah.
Fucking AEW.
I mean, she did. She just did it.
Alright.
Come on.
So we're in agreement, Mercedes, correct?
Of course.
And then we have...
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was against Nyla Rose. I just thought about it. Yeah, it was just this past Wednesday against Nyla Rose.
Wrestling Nyla Rose for the title?
Bro, what the fuck did we just talk about? We just said it's AEW logic.
Yeah. AEW World Championship match. Daniel, don't call me Brian Danielson versus Jack Perry the Platypus. Who wins, Kaliko?
It ain't the platypus.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, this card, for it to be their quote-unquote WrestleMania, it is so predictable.
Would it have made any difference if this wasn't literally 2 weeks after they had a 50,000 seat arena match? So
It, yeah, if this was the all-in card for All Out, then it would have been a lot more unpredictable.
I mean, I agree.
Plus, they out here telling their kids, "Hey, man, I know y'all just came from London. And I know them passports out there burning, but I need you to come to Chicago real quick."
It's asking a lot of your fans, right?
In fucking what? 3-week turnaround? Hell yeah! I mean, WWE ain't even doing that. They just like, we'll just come to y'all, and then y'all just chill. Dead, because think about it. I mean, the people that travel there are gonna go there regardless, but they're doing just like PLEs, and most people that are gonna go want to go just to do what? See the crowd. I think the crowd is more important than that for WWE. But all AEW, it's about the wrestling.
Well, it's supposed to be.
And I don't. It's supposed to be, and I don't see. And it's nothing against Jack Perry, but it's just like what warranted him the title shot, and what didn't, and why the fuck Swerve ain't getting his rematch?
Well,
See, that's because hey, he's fighting Hangman Page. That's my fucking point. That's the problem. Why the fuck is MJF not getting his rematch?
Right.
And I get what they're trying to do in the sense of like, because I know Khan's not even an AEW. He's a New Japan guy.
Right.
So I see he's trying to do that element of it, right? It's just the fact that come on, man.
Yep.
Like, make it worth the while, or don't have All In, or have All In fucking in December, but don't have All In follow All Out. Like, don't. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever, do what they want. I mean, it's okay. This card's giving me a headache. This card is giving me a headache because I'm just looking at it like, with the exception of the Garcia match, the Bucks. I mean, 8 cards, 7 of them I can tell you who's winning off the rip.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's get into the last match. A lights out steel cage match. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana, hey hey, goodbye, versus Pornstaff's Page.
Hopefully this is any less violent than their last match in Los Angeles.
I mean, when you have a death match where you literally drink somebody's blood and subject yourself to maybe getting hepatitis, I don't really feel like there's any more you could go after that, no?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why, once again, I get it, the past is coming back to haunt you, but Swerve didn't even get a cup of coffee with the title for his past to come back on that ass.
Right. And I feel like if they would have done some type of hardcore match in Los Angeles and just leave it at that, then you could have this lights out match and say, oh, well, it's a little personal now. But, when you literally give everything you could possibly do in a match, how do you, like, okay, they're adding a steel cage to it, and it's a lights out match. Well, lights out match, or an unsanctioned match, doesn't seem nearly as threatening as a Texas death match in Los Angeles. Scratch that, in Eaglewood.
Yes.
So I don't know what they're going to do. That really scares me because if they're gonna want to top what they did in Los Angeles, one of these motherfuckers might actually die. And that's not like a joke or, um, me kidding around. I mean, I could be legitimately concerned for one of these guys' well-being. Because there was a lot of things to be desired in that last match. In all honesty, they shouldn't be wrestling each other anymore. I know that maybe people are going to say, well, he burnt his house down. His childhood house. Well, why did he fucking do that? Nobody fucking cares at this point. Like, he's mad because he broke into his house and was harassing his newborn child. And people were actually on Swerve's side for that. I get that.
Yes.
But that's why you have blow-off matches. So you don't have to deal with this shit anymore. You don't have a blowout match and then continuously do the same shit that you've been doing.
So we're in agreement that this match is complete. Because considering that the match at Inglewood was like, you can't really go back. That's like you remember when Thunder Rosa Baker had that match and Britt Baker was bleeding her ass, and it's like they just go, you know what? Let's see if we can go better than that. And everybody's like, nah, you kind of want to leave it where it is.
Right.
And they're not doing that.
How many?
They don't want to lose.
How many matches did Shawn Michaels and Triple H have against each other? I mean, a lot, right? But
yeah, a lot.
But what was the last match of their rivalry? The Hell in a Cell 2004, Bad Blood. They literally beat the hell out of each other. Triple H won the match, and they literally did not have another match after that. I mean, the closest thing they when it came to wrestling each other was the triple threat
match with John Cena.
Yes, but they didn't touch each other in a wrestling capacity after that.
Since then,
yeah.
Yep.
So you get my point when enough is enough.
Well, AEW doesn't get your point. I think you're preaching to the choir.
Yep.
But it's just a matter of why. And that's what's killing it. It's the why. I don't know. I don't know. Congrats, Swerve, on resigning. You're just gonna go right back to where you were.
Congratulations for getting demoted to Ring of Honor.
If he does that, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, he's not winning this match.
Really?
Do you think Swerve's winning this match?
He's got to.
He won the last 3 matches they had.
But the problem is, hey, that's AEW's fault. They put that pinnacle. But like I said, AEW's logic. Willow and Statlander should be beating her ass upside the head. Willow's been winning every goddamn match.
Right. I mean, he literally burned his house down. He has to win.
That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. Who's that? Tupac, that don't mean shit. That don't mean a goddamn thing.
So we're definitely divided in this one.
Yeah, because we're winning. Yeah, man.
I'm going with Hangman.
Yep. All right.
I feel like
the best man win.
Yes.
Swerve.
Alright. That will conclude our coverage of AEW All Out. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview founder Jackson. Join us this Wednesday as we interview Nico Klein. And join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. And where can we find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko, and shout out to Zach Saint 50-50 winning the G1. I didn't see that shit coming.
Oh, no, we almost did, yeah.
Bro, I was like, of all the people to win that bitch, who did he blackmail in Japan to become the second gaijin to win it? Who did he blackmail? Who was he extorting? That's what I want to know.
I just feel like there was nobody else available to win it, so.
I mean that part, but I mean once Naito got the title back, it was kind of like pointless.
Right.
And then shit, Sonata wasn't gonna win that bitch. So it was what 50-50? Boy, New Japan going down the toilet 50-50.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooterdust, I'm James J, reminding you, the future is dust.